It's a foggy road that winds its way south from Oslo as the dark, long Nordic winter sets in. We're a long way here from Nairobi. This is the story of a journey. The journey of a young boy who fled war in his native Somalia.
This country is the country who took us with open arms, who helped us.
A boy who found a new life in Norway.
I don't know if it's right to call him extreme. It was just different from me.
But who apparently turned his back on the West and the life it had offered him. Investigators believe this man is that boy from Norway. So we think we've identified one of the Westgate attackers, and we think we've found his hometown, a small place called Larvik, southwest of Oslo. So that's where we're going now. Newsnight is on a journey to find out who he is and why he might have turned to terror. As dawn breaks, we reach Larvik, a modest town on Norway's southern coast. This quiet backwater seems about as distant as it's possible to imagine from Somalia's 2-decade-long conflict. That war gave rise to Al-Shabaab, meaning literally the youth, which on the 21st of September announced in spectacular fashion its intention to join the international A-League of Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist groups. Shortly after midday that Saturday, gunmen stormed the Westgate shopping mall. A 4-day siege ensued. Dozens of hostages were thought to be stuck inside the complex, held there, the authorities said, by 10 to 15 heavily armed terrorists. But when the CCTV footage came out, it only showed 4 attackers. Fevered speculation about their identities did little to establish any clarity.
There's a lot of rumors circulating, and we have to be watchful since the Kenyans before have had somewhat very broad focuses in their investigations.
In Nairobi, all the investigators really knew was what the attackers were wearing. They dubbed them black shirt, white shirt, blue shirt and pink shirt. Then, from Oslo came an unexpected twist. In a bland statement, the Norwegian security service said it was investigating whether one of its own citizens was involved in the attack. They didn't mention a name, but sources in Kenya and in Norway have pointed us to this man. Black shirt, seen here firing a Kalashnikov rifle inside the supermarket on the first day of the siege. Newsnight can reveal here for the first time that the man under investigation is Hassan Abdi Doolo. He's 23 years old and he's a Norwegian citizen. Dramatic footage which emerged for the first time today shows the man investigators believe is Hassan Abdi Doolo shooting a man already lying injured in a pool of blood. He's seen here walking away immediately afterwards. He and his family came to Norway as refugees in 1999. They ended up in sleepy Larvik. Hassan was just 9 years old. It was in this block of flats on the less picturesque outskirts of Larvik that we understand that Hassan Doolo lived as a teenager with his family, until a few years ago a neighbour told us he disappeared and moved to Africa. Morten Henriksen took a look at the CCTV footage from inside Westgate.
Might be him, yes.
This one?
Yes.
In the black jacket. Hassan Doolo left for Somalia in 2009, so Henriksen hasn't seen his neighbour for about 4 years. But he points, without prompting, to black shirt, apparently corroborating our other sources.
It was pretty extreme.
In what way?
He's talking about Quran all the time, so he didn't like the way we lived here. His father told me that he didn't like the way he was going.
Was his father worried about him, did you
Yes.
sense?
He was worried.
What did he say?
He he was talking about he was when he was small he was fighting much with his school friends. He was in trouble at school.
There are other links too between Norway and Somalia. 2 weeks after Westgate, US Navy SEAL Team 6, these are the same guys that took out Osama bin Laden, carried out an ambitious raid on a small town on the Somali coast. Their target was a senior al-Shabaab operator who goes by the name of Ikrima. Now, the raid wasn't a success. The Americans didn't get their man. But Ikrima is understood to be a senior recruiter of foreign fighters for al-Shabaab, and he spent time here in Norway. Between 20 and 30 Norwegian citizens, almost exclusively of Somali origin, are thought to have travelled to East Africa to join the fight. Of particular concern is a group known as Generation 1.5, those who were born in Somalia but who came to Norway at a relatively young age.
They need people that really are quite ignorant on Somalia, which is dangerous, because that will give a more internationalist agenda of these people, and it might also make them more dangerous when they return back to their home countries.
There is a sizable Somali community here. Attempts to help them integrate into Norwegian society have had mixed results. Hamza Mohammed's is a success story. Like Hassan Doolo, he came to Norway at the age of 9, but today he holds a seat on Oslo City Council. He says he knows many who feel alienated in their adopted homeland.
I have seen people who I know, not my close friends, that have been radicalized, that have been changed a lot. Some people who I know, or I know their parents who have traveled back. And yes, I have...
Who've travelled back specifically to fight?
Yes, to fight.
Here in Larvik, few people are willing to talk openly about Hassan Doolo. We have, though, spoken to one family member who didn't want to go on camera, but they spoke of infrequent and erratic phone calls home, each time from a different Somali mobile number. The last time Hassan called, they said, was this summer. He was in trouble, he said. He wanted to come home. Larvik's Somalis came together this week to celebrate Eid, but this is a community under pressure. Police had, we understand, been keeping tabs on Hassan Doolo for quite some time. We showed the CCTV footage to his relative. I don't know what to feel or think, they said. If it is him, he must have been brainwashed.